Hi.
What was that?
Like, Stitch?
Yes. Except that he goes,
Hi.
hi. But yeah, like Stitch.
So, we saw you guys.
That's what you say.
Nope.
We didn't stream last Saturday. We weren't home.
Did we stream last Tuesday?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because we talked about not putting up a video because Paul had to get his class.
Yeah.
And then we talked about that we wouldn't be streaming Saturday because we were at the Holiday of Pride.
Pride-o. Food-idol.
Oh my god, you're horrible.
Am I wrong? Food-idol?
You are wrong in the pronunciation and the enunciation.
Okay.
You're using the right vowels. That is correct. Either way. What happened last time?
Well, we got a keep out from Tama after she basically got the money that she needed from the job.
But you couldn't get her suit off though. So she's like, oh well, I guess I'm going down there with her suit on. What?
She has amnesia?
She still has amnesia. She's had amnesia the entire game so far.
Did we get to know
that?
Okay.
She just haven't told anyone else.
Ah, okay. That's probably why I forgot.
She said so in the beginning of the game that she doesn't know who she is.
Okay. Well then, let's forget that then.
Forget that ever happened. It's not like it's on fucking stream for everyone to hear.
Nope.
We also did Minarikawa.
Yeah.
Because they were closely intertwined, let me tell ya.
Yeah, it was when the actual demo happened. So Mirakawa was there to experience it. And we
experienced the horrible, horrible events that happened because you don't piss off middle-aged or elderly women.
Nope.
They learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
Everything is basically ruined, and
even
Yanagishita is doomed for all eternity, but he's positive about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
He's like, as long as I'm alive, it's fine.
But you landed from the Yakuza, you ain't gonna be alive for very long! He got dragged away by them, so we don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah. Mirakawa tried to interview the women while they were in an uproar.
Yeah! Goes so well.
The demo, and yeah, he got dragged into it.
Yeah, he got caught into that stuff and was forced out with all the women.
Yeah.
But he is somewhat unscathed, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the only routes we looked at last time, so now we have to choose one of the other ones.
Yeah.
And judging from the title of this stream, I assume I know which one we're gonna do.
Yes. Time for more depressive Ursula.
And here's a bucket, sir!
Yeah.
Alright, Ursula. What terrible, terrible shenanigans have you come up with this time?
I don't deserve to be forgiven for what I've done.
Oh, wow. Right, that.
We may have both done the same thing, but my motives, those were different. And so I don't regret what I did.
You know, blood's not supposed to go into the vial when you put something in the body, but whatever.
No, it's just a cool visual.
I know, but that's essentially meaning that he is doing the opposite of what he's supposed to do when you try to inject something.
Yeah.
Sucking it out. Is that how it works? But whatever.
Don't worry about it.
If he's going to give the entire vial to the patient right away, it's not a problem. If he's not, it is the problem. Blood's not supposed to be there if you want to save some of it.
Yeah, no, it's contaminated.
Yep.
You cannot give it to anyone else.
But you can't even give it to the same patient.
No. And yet, if someone were to ask if there was some small part of me that wanted to see the results of my research, I could not deny it.
Oh boy. I mean, we're all disturbing people in some way.
Oswald grabbed his shoes from the entryway and then headed for the back door. He didn't want the detectives in his living room to know he was going to meet with Makino. That pest Kajubara was nowhere in sight. Now was his chance to slip away. Gotcha.
Oh, hello! That's creepy uncle. I told you it was creepy.
Speak of the devil, Hachiwara had snuck up behind him.
Gotcha! He's holding something.
He's holding it's a flashlight.
Ah!
He's lighting his face up with a flashlight.
You're not doing yourself any favors there.
Are you going out? The detective asked. No. I was just... Oswald felt something inside his shoe. He saw
Like a
rubber
true
duck stuck
spy.
inside it. Is this your doing? I laid a booby trap. Or rather...
Booby trap! Booby trap! Originally a type of lethal trap used during wartime to catch clumsy, unwary soldiers. You know, boobies. In modern parlance, however, the term frequently signifies a harmless prank, setting a black border race at the top of the classroom door so that it falls onto the head of whoever opens the door. A very frequent, at least Japanese prank. People they are bullying.
Well...
It's not harmless when they're being bullied at the same time.
No. But it's... I see why they come with this example.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really hurt anyone.
This is not something you do in Denmark.
Oh, no. You'd be caught immediately. Because collectivity is not really a big part of institutions in Denmark. So everyone's on their own. So everyone can tattle on everyone. In Japan, where collectivism is the way to go, it's usually a group that decides to do this, and therefore no one can do anything about it.
That kind of stuff also does happen in Denmark.
Yeah, but more rarely it's one person instigating it all and nobody doing anything about it. But this often happens in high school. You're in high school here and someone's getting bullied. You bet your ass someone's gonna tell them if they know.
What's the thinking?
Ah?
Yes, it's also the difference in how the doors work to the classrooms.
Yeah.
Because in Japan, it's very common for them to have sliding doors.
Yeah.
We do not have that in Denmark.
We have swing doors.
Swing doors.
Not that you can't hide something on there, but it's more often this thing that happens would be something like in America where they use buckets.
It's harder to make it get stuck there.
Yeah.
Sliding doors has an easier time holding the object up.
Yeah.
Compared to a swing door. A swing door will just most of the time actually open on its own.
Yeah.
Either open on its own or close on its own, depending on how the gravity, how it's tilted and whatnot. And therefore it wouldn't be able to hold something up unless it's a very old door who's very stuck.
Or a heavy object.
Yeah, heavy.
Like a bucket of water, like they do in America.
Yes, you can put a bucket above it.
Yeah.
Like on top of the door. That's something you can do. You can balance it. So when they open the door, the bucket will fall, will tip over and fall upon them with water.
Not that I've ever heard or seen that happen in Denmark.
Not really something that happens in Denmark, no.
No, but bullying is different than anything. Don't get us wrong. We've both been victims of said bullying. Not just teasing.
Anyways.
Just wanted to clarify that.
It's also something that's more common in just, movies and series. Because,
Oh yeah, because it creates conflict and drama, and it immediately gives an antagonist.
Yeah.
Anyways, a ducky trap.
Kajiwara beamed with self-satisfaction. You act like a great school, Rosawa said. Indeed, sir. I'm a grown man with a youthful heart.
Yeah, you don't say.
Leave it to Kajiwara to yet again miss the point entirely.
Yep.
With a sigh, Rosawa tossed the dog at him. Kajiwara caught it nimbly in one hand, then stuffed it right into his pocket.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I won't tell you that you aren't allowed to leave, sir. All I ask is that you tell me where you've been, and where you plan on going. My work is highly confidential. I am not at liberty to discuss just anything about.
Oh, hello.
Please try to work with me on this, sir. Kajiwara interrupted. He leaned in uncomfortably close. Do you recall what I said before? About how I'd appreciate if you didn't keep secrets from me?
And I'd very much appreciate if you stopped being creepy. But we can't have all things, so you know.
Osawa hesitated, inwardly debating how much he should share. 3 options.
Yeah, you want to tell the truth, you want to say, no, I'm not going to tell you the truth, or do you want to lie?
Let's start with this doesn't concern you.
Alright.
You needed to keep this a secret. It doesn't concern you. Alright, the detective said. In that case, I just have one condition. Please take this with you. He produced something that looked like a small transceiver from inside.
Small? That is not small.
From inside his coat. What's this? It's a bug tracker, sir. It'll beep in response to a nearby listening device. I don't need this. He pushed Kajiwara's hand aside and the bug tracker fell on the floor. Mr. Osawa, you mustn't underestimate the lengths to which these kidnappers might go. For once, the detective's face was all seriousness. Alright, fine. Osawa snatched up the device and headed out the door.
Alright. To the car! Kid. That's what it says down there. On the thing. Kid.
The front lights tells me Mercedes, but the fact that the Mercedes logo is not standing up is confusing me. Because they typically have like a small
Yeah, they do.
figurehead.
Hard to see from here what the logo actually is. It's just round.
Magnus' car was parked out front. The driver stood alongside it. Osawa exchanged a wordless greeting with him, then got into the back. He found Magnus reclining in one of the luxurious leather seats. Now then, Magnus said, what did you want to ask me about? Lighting a cigar, he glanced sidelong at Osawa. I was hoping you could explain the situation to me, sir. Which situation would that be? So he was still going to beat around the bush, even now. Osawa suppressed an urge to shout at him. Are you the one who let the antiviral out of the lab, sir? Yes, that was me. Makono didn't bat an eyelid. So why had he been so coy a few moments earlier? But How? The fingerprints authentication system is almost unbreakable. Getting access to the storage area would... He trailed off as the thought suddenly occurred to him. It was not strictly true that fingerprint authentication was the only means of entry.
What a device.
Ozawa and Tanaka had both set up passwords as a failsafe in case an injured fingertip somehow prevented them from operating the scanner properly. But these passwords were 10-character alphanumeric strings. No one could just haphazardly fumble their way in. Could Makino have sent a request to the electronic locks manufacturer and asked them to unlock it then? No. That required the approval of 6 board members. And Ozawa was one of those 6 people. There really seemed to be no way of getting in without leaving any trace.
Interesting.
You're absolutely right, of course, Makino said, with a grin, as if reading his thoughts. I couldn't gain access to the lab without you and Tanaka, but I didn't have to. He exhaled a large plume of smoke. You remember when we released the samples for animal testing? No, it couldn't be.
God.
Ozawa broke out in a sweat. Ah, but it could, Makino said. I had them divert some of the samples intended for animal testing. Naturally, that didn't leave any record of anything being taken from the lab. Ozawa bit his lip hard. He couldn't help but feel betrayed by his company. But why? Makino let out a nasal, one-note chuckle. You don't seem to grasp just how valuable this thing really is. What do you mean by that, sir? Makino lowered his voice. There's a major world power out there that has already weaponized the UA virus. For a moment, Ozawa thought this was just a sick joke, but the look on Makino's face told him otherwise. I've been informed that it was recently used in a military installation in the Middle East. Within 12 hours of dispersal, there were at least 800 casualties. If you include civilians, the number jumps to over 2,000. Any evidence of the deceased agent and the bomb that delivered it has, of course, been covered up. Ozawa listened in amazement, his outrage that any government would commit such an atrocity, not quite suppressing his excitement at discovering that the virus could be propagated by exploitive means. He felt a flush of guilt at his own fascination. The antivirus who created it has the potential to render this weapon useless. Right now, Hoshi Pharmaceutical possesses the sole means to combat UA. Makino's lips curled into a boastful grin. Any number of countries would love to get their hands on it. The major power in question has offered an unprecedented sum. And that's hardly a surprise. Having a monopoly on the antiviral makes the weapon itself that much more valuable. To Ozawa, this was a glimpse into another terrifying world, one he had barely imagined previously.
Shit.
And so you wanted to get human testing over with as soon as possible. Is that it? He's bad. Makino shrugged. I explained full well to the locals that the risks of experimentation were what the risks of experimentation were, and they were paid in accordance with said risks. They willingly consented to infection with the UA virus. Sophistry was about off. Nothing more. You use money to deceive a bunch of poor farmers. Come on, Ozawa. Who's being disingenuous now? Makino eyed him with contempt and let out another hot smoke. I know you, Osoba, and I know you're not really concerned for some bunch of founders. All you care about is your research. The thing that's really nagging you right now is that someone went ahead and did the final clinicals without you. Oh, spare me the ridicule, sir.
Boy.
As a virologist, I have a moral duty to... To what? Makino barked. Go to the media with this? Do you have any idea how much money the company has thrown at your lab to keep it up and running?
How much money? Osoba's lab has incurred expenses of roughly 30 billion yen in developing the antiviral medication. Okoshi Pharmaceuticals spends approximately 200 billion yen per year in research and development. Osoba's work is the single most costly element of that budget. So, a lot of money.
Yeah. Also about gate. I do appreciate the company, all the company has done for me, sir. He spoke so quietly that his voice was nearly inaudible. In any event, Makino said, now that you know about the human testing, I can't let you go to America.
Oh boy.
How do you know about that? He insisted that I keep his planned relocation a secret, but apparently she's told her father regardless. If you insist on making the move anyway, I'll use any means necessary to stop you. Makino regarded Osoba with a bloodshot gaze.
Huh?
Is he behind this?
Behind what?
The kidnapping?
Like to find out?
I gave him a douchey voice without realizing he's probably more douchey than I expect him to be. Any means necessary? Osoba swallowed the knob in his throat. Sir, you don't mean that my daughter's kidnapping was... Don't be ridiculous, Makino said before Osoba could finish. Of course that wasn't me.
Yeah, now we can trust that.
Nevertheless, I'll do what I must to keep you in line. Remember that. Understood, sir. I'll turn down the US job offer. Osoba heard his own voice like the thin drone of a tiny insect. He felt utterly powerless. I can't simply take your word on that, Makino said.
Boy. What up?
I was reading for some reason that sentence didn't make sense to me.
It makes perfect sense!
Do it now. I want to hear you do it myself.
Beautiful phone right there.
He jolted his jaw toward the phone in the backseat console.
So, what do you want to choose? You want to oblige, or do you want to say, fuck you?
Fuck you! Couldn't this wait just a little bit, sir? Osoba asked. Maybe he could still find a way out. You already know what my decision is, Makino said. His tone carried an edge of intimidation. Osoba didn't reply. He simply stared at the telephone. He felt like an insect who had all its legs plucked off. You need to think about your wife too. Makino's words were barely above a murmur. Realizing that his boss was speaking as Ai's father, Osoba couldn't bring himself to resist further. He reached out for the phone. It would be around 10 p.m. local time for the American firm. He decided to call his contact's personal phone. The headhunter was shocked to hear that Ozawa wanted to decline the position. When he pressed for the reason behind the decision, Ozawa hung up. Visibly relieved, Makino lit up a fresh cigar.
Woo! Poor Ozawa, man.
So, there's one thing I don't understand. And what's that? Ozawa's head was feeling fuzzy. The smoke inside the vehicle had gotten extremely thick. If someone has this top secret information, why wouldn't they threaten the company as a whole? Why send those emails to me personally? I'm not sure. There's an internal investigation already underway. We'll find the source of the leak soon enough. At this point, though, Ozawa wasn't sure knowing who originally leaked the info mattered much at all to him. If you'll beg my pardon, then, sir, Ozawa said. He put his hand on the door handle. A sudden high-pitched chirp sounded from his pocket. The bug tracker Kachiwara had given him had picked up a signal. Is that your cell? Makino asked. Oh, yes. It's mine. He hurriedly hopped out of the car and reached into his pocket.
Blink, blink, blink.
Why is it only responding now? That's what I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything alright, sir? The driver was still waiting outside the car. He leaned toward Ozawa, looking concerned. Was it you? Ozawa stepped close to the driver. Did you send me those emails? What? What are you talking about, sir? Don't play dumb with me, Ozawa said. You're the only person who could have planted that listening device on a company car. Listening device? The driver raised an eyebrow in confusion. What are you after? Sir, what are you talking about? Who told you to do it? Tell me!
Not listening at all.
The driver slid back into the car. Ozawa clutched the bug tracker hard as he watched the vehicle pull away.
Well then.
He went back to his house, still gripped with confusion, to find Ai waiting in the entryway. She must have gotten home while he was out. You were with my father, weren't you? She sneered at Ozawa as he slipped off his shoes. Yes, I was, he replied. And it's over. What's over? She knows damn well what. He struggled to contain his irritation. America, I'm not going, he huffed. Oh, really? Well, that is good news. She sounded sincerely pleased. Maybe a little more pleased than Ozawa cared for. I need to go finish up some work things, he mumbled. He hurried to his study up on the second floor.
What I'm wondering is, why didn't it peep when he was by his wife? She has a listening device. We know that from the bad ending.
I don't know where the thing is anymore.
No.
So it's hard to know.
But it's easy to guess that the reason why I didn't do it before now is because she came home at that point. So she just walked past, and that's when it activated.
Maybe.
I don't think there was any listening device in the company car at all. It was just his wife walked by.
It's hard to know.
Yeah.
He threw himself down in front of his computer. There hadn't been any progress on the investigation as usual. Just how long was this all going to go on for? Were all kidnapping cases this drawn out?
Kidnapping cases. A specialized victim support team belonging to a special criminal investigation unit has been deployed at Orthor's house. The members of this team are all specialists who have received training in such skills as negotiation, high-speed motorcycle and automobile driving. That's a funny one, but alright. Running phone traces, special communications, and phone records acquisition.
Ozawa was growing more and more uneasy. He could barely contain himself at this point. Wasn't there something, anything, that he could do? He glanced over at his monitor. That's an idea. He could look up kidnapping investigations on the internet. That might give him some insight into the current situation. Kidnapping, police investigations, hostages. He typed the 3 keywords into the search field. The engine pulled up over 100,000 hits.
Damn.
He scanned it. Yeah, there are a lot of kidnappings.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what search engine this is. I assume it's Google.
I assume it's a Google-like thing.
Yeah. He scanned the beginning of the list for anything that might be useful. One of the site links caught his eye. How the police do it. It looked like a page containing information on various types of police cases. He clicked on the link for kidnapping cases and began to read. Even if the hostage wound up safe in the end, the site informed him the police lost face if the culprit got away. And if the hostages were killed and the kidnapper evaded capture, the media would have a field day. This made apprehending the suspect an absolute necessity. Even if the person's life was on the line, when it came to a kidnapping case, the police prioritized making the arrest.
Yeah. It's very Japanese of you. But that is unfortunately how it works.
Taking his hand off the mouse, Osawa sat back and thought. He wasn't going to be able to relax until he heard Maria's voice again. But if the police prioritized arresting the suspect, why were they just letting things stay in limbo now? Didn't they have the crooks under surveillance?
About that.
He couldn't wrap his head around that. The internet hadn't been able to give him the info he'd hoped for after all. Unable to do anything for Maria, but wait, he turned his thoughts to how his opportunity to transfer to the US has passed him by. The research facilities in America would have been top tier. Some part of him still couldn't quite accept what had happened. He stole a quick look back at the door, then surfed to the Aya Kamiki fan community for people 40 and over. Whenever something was weighing on his mind, posting on these forums seems to turn his mood back around. He knew that now wasn't really the time to be doing this, but he needed to do something to calm and quiet his mind. He started a new forum topic. In the title field he wrote Ayakamaki. Kamiki. I'm doing great today.
It's okay. It's Japanese words. You're not used to pronouncing Japanese words.
It's not so much that I was mixing up the stuff.
Yeah.
I can clearly see what it reads, but it was.
That's what I'm saying. It's the pronouncing. You're not used to it. Most memory wise.
It's like I was saying Ayaka because it was Ayaka. And then I pronounced the I as an A instead, and I'm just making stuff up. This is stuff I should be able to do. Anyways, expanding into the US. With Aya Kamiki still at the height of her popularity, does anyone else think it would be exciting if she ventured into the American market? I know I would. She's not the sort of artist who deserves to be confined to Japan. She should be recording at an American studio staffed by the industry's best. I'd love to see her career really take off over there. He wound up getting into a little back and forth with himself. Hopefully he'd get a response from someone else soon.
See, he still has it with him.
Okay. A sudden shrill noise. It's a bit inconsistent as to when this goes off.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't hear it before now.
No. A sudden shrill noise startled him so much that he nearly cried out. His heart fluttered like that of a young child who had been caught in some prank. Realizing that the sound was coming from the bug tracker, he pulled it from his pocket and took a few breaths to steady himself. Evidently, someone had bugged his study as well. Tracker in hand, he walked toward the center of the room. What direction was the signal coming from? He tried heading toward the window. Here, maybe? Next, he headed over to his desk. Here, too? The bug tracker was picking up signals from all over the room. Had there been that many listening devices planted in here? Mr. Osawa, it's Kajiwara. Ah, perfect timing. Osawa hurried to let the detective into the study. The bug tracker's picking up signals. Oh? Yes, from all over the room. What should I do? Mr. Osawa, please calm down. As if that's even possible right now. It feels like there must be 10, no maybe 100 listening devices in here. Kajiwara didn't miss a beat. Let me be honest with you. That bug tracker is broken. Ah. What? Was dumbfounded. Broken? But this is the one I got from you, right? Well, yes. But mine isn't detecting anything. Kajiwara produced an identical bug tracker from his pocket. And as he'd said, it wasn't getting any signal. As I recall, Mr. Osawa, that one was dropped on the floor when I was trying to hand it to you. Ah, yes, that's right.
You broke it!
That must have been when it broke, sir. The strength ebbed from Osawa's body. He didn't even have the mental energy to be angry anymore. He gave the tracker a whack with the palm of his hand and the beeping stopped. Right, he said. What can I do for you? Kajiwara clapped his hands together as if he just remembered something.
You were like, right?
Ah, right. We have a big problem.
Oh no.
The toilet again? Was what sounded. No, not that. It's something worse. Kajiwara's face turned grim. Something worse? Had something happened to Mario? He needed to hear the detective out.
Were you gonna hear him or you're not gonna hear him out?
Let's hear. What is it? Also, I asked. Go on, tell me. He did his best to remain composed. Well, you see, we ordered lunches for everyone, and it looked like there were 2 still left over, so I wound up eating them. There was an awkward pause. Oswald didn't have the foggiest idea of how to respond. My deepest apologies, sir. I ate the lunches intended for you and your wife. Kajiwara bowed profusely. And I really do need to apologize. They were tonkatsu bento boxes, and they were delicious. The meat was so tender, and the batter so crisp. With each and every bite, the rich flavor just filled my mouth more and more.
Tonkatsu. I love tonkatsu.
Also, I felt a blood vessel burst in his skull. Oh, we're getting a bad end now?
Let's see.
Listen, you. Get your goddamn act together. Or he didn't even get to finish that thought. A pathetic little gurgle sounded from his stomach. Ah, see, Kajiwara said. You are hungry. He fussed sheepishly with his hair. At the talk of food, Osawa realized abruptly that he hadn't eaten anything since the night before. Shall I make something for you? The detective asked. This is all my fault, after all. You can cook?
What?
Osawa wasn't sure how thrilled he was with the idea of Kajiwara helping him. You mustn't judge people based on outward appearances, Mr. Osawa. Alright, fine. Go ahead then. His newfound hunger was making it hard for him to think. It would certainly behoove him to eat something. He led Kajiwara to the kitchen.
Nice.
What's with that getup? Wearing an apron in the kitchen is a must, sir.
An apron! The cartoon character printed on the apron Kajiwara is wearing is one of his own design. It is modeled after the MPD's mascot. His name is Pinpoken.
Oh. Alas, it isn't while I'm naked.
Oh my god. Kajiwara! You're not making it better for yourself.
Naked? Oh, are you not familiar with the concept of a naked apron?
Naked apron! Oh boy, here we go. The state of being entirely naked safe for an apron. Yeah, I've seen that in Japanese media. It's weird. A form of cosplay. The views from the front, rear, and sides all offer certain appeal. But caution must be advised as it may be difficult to stop arguing about which is the loveliest sight once the topic is raised. Sure thing. There are similar, more specialized naked styles as well, such as the naked sock, shoe, necktie, ribbon, scarf, collar, and so forth. Entirely unnecessary information, but thank you.
I could demonstrate if you like.
Please no. God, no.
No, that's quite alright. Where did you get that apron anyway? It's mine, sir. Have you had it with you this whole time? Yes, in here.
In his pocket.
With a smile, Kajiwara pointed to his pocket.
This guy.
Of course. Osawa eased himself into a chair.
He has everything in his pockets.
His hunger was making him feel weak, and Kajiwara was making him feel like he was losing his mind. Oh, this is bad, the detective said. I need to whip something up for you fast. Something's definitely wrong if you don't even have a comeback. Osawa felt his anxiety mounting. Just what sort of food was this insufferable oaf going to make anyway? Probably nothing worth eating was his bet. More choices.
Yeah. So you wanna make Kajiwara eat, or would you ask Tanaka to make, or would you ask your wife to make lunch?
Ah, fuck Seriously.
I would probably just let Kajiwara make it for you. He's not gonna take no for an answer right now.
Tanaka, please. Maybe it was better to ask Tanaka to make him lunch instead. Osawa gave him a hurried phone call, and his assistant director was quick to agree. I'm having Mr. Tanaka help me here, he told Kajiwara. By all means, go back to your investigation. Kajiwara said. I hope you don't think I'm not inclined to help you out. Since when had helping out been Kajiwara's strong suit? That's not the issue, Osawa said. My, it's such a shame, a friend being treated like a stranger.
Oh, I would love it if you were an actual stranger to me. I'll tell ya.
Osawa was still struggling to turn down Kajiwara's assistance. Tanaka arrived, sleeves rolled up. He'd really removed his he'd already removed his jacket and his necktie. All right, he said. What are we making? He sounded happy enough. Apparently, he didn't mind cooking. This was a side of Tanaka that Ozawa had never seen before. Oh, will you be helping out as well, detective? Tanaka regarded Kajiwara in his apron. Of course! It's all part of my duties while I'm stationed here. Understood.
You ain't getting out of this.
Let's get started then, shall we? The pair began rummaging around the kitchen, forming an immediate bond of camaraderie.
Yeah!
Kajiwara peered into the refrigerator. Goodness, you are remarkably understocked, he said. Let's see. Could you please put these in the dinger, Mr. Ozawa? The detective handed Ozawa some frozen lumps of rice. You want me to help out? Of course! It's your rice, after all. Ozawa wasn't sure how to respond to that. Please go ahead and ding those. Ding? I'm afraid I'm not familiar with dinging. It's the microwave.
Yeah.
I mean, heat them in the microwave oven.
This is a funny word.
Ozawa stepped over to the microwave. Unfortunately, he had no idea how to work the controls. You should thaw that rice out as soon as possible, Kajiwara told him. I'm actually not sure how to operate this thing. What? The detective gasped. You don't know how to use a microwave? Kajiwara gave him a look of disbelief. It should be just as simple as turning the dial. Ozawa turned the dial labeled thaw.
Yes,
Then crossed his arms with a satisfied grin. Miss Ozawa? I'm sure you already know this, but you need to put the rice inside first, and then turn the dial. Ozawa swallowed quietly. He put the frozen rice into the microwave, then turned the dial once more. Jeez.
I mean, it just says warm up. And then there are different kinds down there, so you can see how many minutes it's supposed to give it. Or in the case of onigiri, 20 seconds. But if it's a bowl of rice, 1 minute.
Wow.
Yep.
Is that a mushroom?
No. Where?
The second to last.
That's a broccoli.
That's a broccoli.
Yeah.
Okay.
It says burokuri.
Ah,
Or it says burokuri.
I didn't realize it was in katakana.
Yeah.
But I can see now that.
And the last one's a potato.
Is that tea or just water?
The third one?
Yeah.
Neither.
Neither?
Maybe it just says liquids.
Ah.
Don't know. It doesn't say tea. It doesn't say water either. And why would you want to heat up sake? Sake can.
Because some people like it warm?
No. No, you wouldn't.
There's clearly a reason why it's there. So why is rice different from a rice bowl?
So because it's less rice?
Maybe it's different kinds of rice?
No.
No?
No. Gohan just means warm rice. Onigiri just means rice ball. I think it's just because it's less rice. You know, it's smaller pieces in a bowl of rice. Bowl of rice is pretty big, all things considered.
Maybe it could also be that because you can clearly see that it only says 20 seconds instead of 1 minute. It could also be that it would affect the stuff that's binding it all together.
Like what? That would also be affected by the rice when you heat that up.
Yeah, but a bowl of rice doesn't really matter. It's like whatever. But
It does matter. If it doesn't work, you're not gonna be able to get it out with your chopsticks. As I'm saying, rice balls are way smaller than a bowl of rice. It doesn't need that much energy to get heated up. Not to mention it has more surface area.
But the rice are more compact.
That
It's
doesn't
more
matter.
compact. Which means the surface area is actually less.
No. It's not much more compact than a bowl of rice, especially not while it's been frozen.
Well, what do I know? I've never had it.
I have.
Yes, because you've also been to Japan.
Yeah.
I haven't. Oh,
There was
what
pickled plum in it. It was good.
There was what?
Pickled plum.
Pickled plum.
Umeboshi.
I typically don't really like pickled stuff.
No, but this does not taste like pickled. It's very, very Japanese thing.
Mm. I like pickled onions.
It doesn't taste like pickled onions. I can't explain to you how it tastes.
But the thing I like about pickled onions is like the sourness.
Yeah. I mean, ume is sour, but it also has a very distinct taste.
Okay. We are using too much time with this.
It's fine. But you can continue.
There's also something about grams. 100, 200, 300, 500.
Well, this is 200 grams there.
No, on the dial.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Okay.
Anyway, you should continue.
But you just had to thaw them out. You didn't have to heat them.
Well, heating is thawing it out.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty...
This is cooked, this is warm.
Thank you. I was wondering about what the other one was. Okay. Then...
This one says tabemono and then something about cook.
Okay.
I can't pronounce it, but that's what it says.
Okay. I was curious about that. I was
And
like...
this one says atatame, which means to warm up something.
My iconography is telling me that the blue one should be thawing. And the orange one should be
I suppose that's
cooking.
what you do at home, yeah, but no.
Because I would think that, like, okay, it's blue, it's cold, so
Yeah.
therefore it's like less heat and whatnot.
Yeah,
so
no.
that was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know that I can't survive in Japan without reading Japanese.
Like, I couldn't have already told you that from being in Japan.
Because all of their iconography is different from what I'm used to.
Yeah. There's a reason why they call it green lights blue lights.
Yeah.
You'd be confused as fuck. They are green now, but they used to be blue. That's why they still call them blue lights. You know.
I don't know what everyone expects, he muttered suddenly. It's not like I've ever used one of these things before. Mr. Ozawa, why don't you take this and go wait somewhere? Kachiwara pulled out a sheet of bubble wrap from his pocket. Bubble wrap! Bubbles!
Bubble wrap! Bubble wrap was first showed up on the planet Earth in the 1960s. It was originally developed not as a packing material, but as a form of wallpaper and a type of cover to prevent leaves from falling into swimming pools. Did you know that?
We still use that for swimming pools.
Yes. These
Because
products,
it makes it float.
yes. These products did not sell well, however, and the manufacturer instead began to market the wrap as the packing material. after which it became a huge successful product. Because now we use it everywhere. We use way too much plastic on that.
I've been thinking maybe I should get one of those puppy thingies.
The one of those reusable ones?
Yeah. Apparently they don't make much sound. That's what Rasmus tells me.
Not that we would know whether that's true or not.
Well, he should know. He works with the kids with special needs.
I know, but it's all about perception.
Yeah. So, because they're supposed to be silent compared to other fidget toys. And I do sometimes want something to fit it with, and I like using my fidget spinner, but it is very noisy. Very noisy, especially because it's all metal.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Aiko, you can't get inside the seed bag. She's been doing that since yesterday.
The seed bag is food, but it's not for you. It's for Apollo. It's his diet. You can't survive on seed. And you're a carnivore. Exhibit stares at Apollo. What? What did he get that I can? You need everything he drops, Aiko. I don't care about that. Apparently that's not good enough for her.
I don't want your saliva to get in there.
No.
Because that means it'll just go bad.
Yep, it'll mold.
What's this for? Use your fingers to pop the bubbles. That should help you calm down.
Boop, boop.
Too drained to argue was what did as prompted, starting to pop his way along the sheet. Well,
Now he's entertained, I guess.
Kajibara said after they'd spent a little time working at the stove, you probably don't need to stay any longer. Sorry for the trouble. It's quite alright, Tanaka replied. With so little in the way of ingredients, I guess there wasn't much I could really do. Shoulders slumped. He glanced over at Osawa. I'll leave this in your hands then, Detective.
He's staring at the fucking bottle around.
Are you sure you don't mind? Should I go out and purchase some more ingredients? No, that's fine. Thank you for all the trouble. No, I apologize for not being more helpful. What is this, Canada?
What?
Apologizing for everything and just being as nice as possible?
Have you ever heard of Japan before?
No, I know.
I'd like to add that they say thank you and I'm sorry all the time. It could be a contest at times where they just like bow and say arigatou gozaimasu, arigatou gozaimasu until they leave the building.
Aguma.
How much it saying?
Tanaka washed his hands and left the kitchen. Rather than calm him down, though, it was making him incredibly cross. This felt more like a sort of ridiculous punishment. They say you could learn a lot about a household by looking at the fridge, you know. Kajiwara was cooking something in the frying pan. And, Osawa asked, just what have you learned about mine? I'd better not say, sir. You might take offense. Osawa snapped another bubble between his fingers. Ah! The rice has finished thawing. Kajiwara topped the steaming bowl of rice with the fried egg he'd whipped up in his pan. Then, as if it were an afterthought, he added some pickled vegetables. Here you are, sir. Your fried egg on rice is complete.
Fried egg and rice. One of Kajiwara's simple recipes. Others include the white spaghetti, which is simply spaghetti that's been flavored with butter, salt, and pepper after it's been boiled. Both are a bit too basic to be properly called cuisine, but it does take a certain skill to bring the best flavor out of the ingredients with such simple seasonings. Also, fried egg on rice is delicious.
Kajiwara grin from ear to ear. It's also just, it has the basics than what you need.
Yeah.
You have the egg that gives you protein, you have the carbs from the rice, and you have a bit of vegetables to also give a bit extra than just carbs and protein.
Yeah, I mean, you also need vitamins and minerals and stuff.
Mm.
Not everything is obviously in this dish.
No.
You know, you're supposed to eat more than one dish a day.
Mm.
So, you know.
But for a meal, this is fine.
Yeah.
Kajiwara grinned from ear to ear. Go ahead and eat it while it's still warm. Ozawa received the bowl with a dubious look. You aren't very good at cooking, are you? He said. All you had in your refrigerator were eggs and pickled vegetables, sir. I assure you it's quite delicious. I recommend breaking the yolk and mixing it all together.
Mm.
Reluctantly, Ozawa brought a bite to his mouth.
Bitch, it's delicious.
That's good. The words came out almost unbidden. Isn't it just egg yolk and pickled vegetables paired quite well?
Yep.
Ozawa couldn't help but stuff his face, slipping into a rapturous daze as he did. The more he ate, the more it stirred his appetite. I had no idea fried eggs could be this delicious. I know you probably have a long ideal still ahead of you, sir. But please keep your chin up and hang in there. Kajiwara gave Ozawa an amiable smile. It's so weird. The rest of the house is so dark, and then you have the kitchen all white.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sure it's from a narrative and tonal perspective, they deliberately did that.
Yeah. But as an interior of a house, that is horrendous.
Yeah. I mean, I would never have a house that dark.
No. It reminds me of my fucking grandparents.
Yeah.
Specifically my
Probably
mother's.
also
It was like, everything was brown, it was dark, it was...
But that's just times. The times were different. You know?
Yeah, they were.
Aiko?
Hey!
Aiko, hey! Look at me. You can't go into the seed bag, okay? Seed bag is not for you. The tag. You know why she's doing this? Because the fucking laundry basket is full of clothes. She can't get into it like she usually does. So now she's like, I'm gonna get into this one now.
Well, maybe we should take a break and try and to solve this little
conundrum we have.
conundrum we have. Yeah.
With our cat trying to force herself into our bird's food.
So
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
Yeah.
You know, break for us also means break for you. So do get up, stretch, cycle your fluids, get something to drink. You know.
Yeah. Go to the goddamn toilet and pee.
Yeah.
Even if you tell yourself you don't have to pee, you can always pee.
You know what to pee. Go pee.
And drink something. Doesn't have to be water, just drink something.
Yeah. Do it with me. Drink soda.
Or whatever you want.
Mm.
Just don't hop down on the alcohol, please. That is not what we're saying here.
A little alcohol is fine.
Yes, I said hop down on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't drink too much. Don't get knocked out. That's bad.
That's unhealthy.
Anyways, we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
And we're back.
Yay!
Back from break. So, we're in this weird situation that might lead to that end.
Well, let's see. Maybe they're just gonna bond over nice foods.
Yeah.
Who doesn't bond over food?
Ah, that's right, he continued. And for dessert, we'll have bananas.
Have a banana.
No, thank you. Kajiwara grimaced as Osawa held up a hand in refusal.
Now.
Right then. When you finished eating, would you please wash the bowl? Me? Wash dishes? Osawa exclaimed in surprise, sounding like a petulant child.
Me? Wash dishes?
If someone else cooks for you, you should do the cleaning up. It's only polite.
That's not how it works here. I can tell you that immediately. We also have a dishwasher, so I guess it's fine.
I mean, at your parents' place it kinda does.
No. No, it doesn't. We all clean.
Yeah, I suppose. It's true. Fine, okay. While Ozawa was doing the dishes, the bug detector went off again. Director, if you have a moment. Tanaka poked his head into the kitchen. I've got something urgent to discuss with you.
Keep out, bitch! I knew it. I was waiting for that. Well then.
Interesting.
Alright. Well, we've got Aki and Kano.
Yeah.
So?
It's so far, Mirikawa and Tama are kind of separated from everyone else.
Yeah, they are. I promise you, they won't be by the end of the story.
No, I assume so too.
Mirikawa's kind of getting dragged into it now because he now knows about the bribing and about like the foreigners and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's kind of like his story's kind of like distinct from the other three who are clearly part of the core story.
They're like
he's a
very much.
detective. He's right there.
Yeah.
And Achi has one of the daughters, so he's clearly connected too. And also the father said daughters, so you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because Mirikawa is also in the anime, Kanan, where Osawa and Maria, if I remember correctly, were all from there. So it's funny how he's part of that anime as well. But his story here is so just not part of the main story yet. And Thomas is like, I don't know what's going on.
I just want to buy this necklace.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they'll drag him more into this soon.
Yeah.
So, what?
I just thought. What if that's Maria?
Would be a funny notion.
That would be.
We don't know where Maria is, so you know.
We have no idea where she is.
No, I have no idea.
It would be funny if that was Maria. Especially because she's stuck in a cat suit.
Not knowing who she is. No fucking wonder the kidnappers are so fucking pressing right now. If that's true. Oh well. You wanna do Achi or you wanna do Kano?
I'm gonna do Achi.
Let's continue with the guy, Tadano, who's trying to murder them.
Yeah.
Or trying to murder her. Hitomi. Hello, Iko. Hello, Mama. Yeah?
The man with the cane crooks his finger on the trigger. Archie stepped in front of Hitomi, shielding her with his body. If you want to shoot her, you have to shoot me too.
Okay. Boom!
Suddenly, the assassin's head jerked forward.
Oh, hey.
He pitched face first onto the pavement and lay still, revealing a foreign man standing behind him.
Oh no. Hello, I remember you.
In one hand, the stranger clutched a metal pipe. Hizumi, Archie asked. You know that guy? Izumi's eyes went wide. That's the man from the Scramble.
Yeah.
The one who told me to go to the van. Wait, one of the kidnappers? Why would he help us? I'm not sure.
I mean, he looks kind of cray-cray, not gonna lie.
Yeah. The newcomer fixed his eyes on Archie. Hey man, Archie approached the stranger. I'm not sure what's going on here, but thanks for the assist.
Don't thank him yet.
Whoa!
Whoa!
The man took a sudden swing with his pipe. Archie barely managed to dodge out of the way. What the hell? Once again, Archie made sure Hitsumi was safely behind him.
He's not ready to see that. He's mimicking Archie. It's adorable.
Guess I gotta let my fist do the talking.
Oh yeah.
Archie quickly adopted a fighting stance. Be careful, Hitsumi warned, her voice trembling. Don't worry, it's just a pipe.
Yeah, just a pipe. Sure thing, buddy.
Well, it could be worse, it's not such a sharp object.
No,
So he can catch it
but
with
next
his
to
hand.
very much crack his skull open. I'm not lying.
Yes,
here.
but he can catch it with his hands.
True.
I'll just snatch it away from him and make him tell us where your sister is. As I said.
Yeah. If he's not strong enough.
Archie, well, so far Archie has been...
I mean, he's kind of like a violent environmentalist, yes.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that the foreigner here hasn't been through some shit in his life.
The syndicate
Look at
guy.
his face!
Archie judged the distance between them carefully as he stared his opponent down. The metal pipe gave the thug considerable reach. One solid hit from that thing and Archie wouldn't stand a chance.
As I said,
He needed to end this with one punch.
not to mention the foreigner is quite taller than Archie too.
Yeah.
And more sturdy and built, it seems.
The crook sized him up for a few moments, then lunged forward to attack. Now!
Boom!
Archie sidestepped to avoid the incoming blow, then delivered a vicious left hook to his adversary's jaw. The man went down hard. Archie gazed at his fallen foe, clenching his knuckles. The thing about guys who bring weapons to a fight is they always let themselves get too cocky.
Skull! That's what it says.
No, it's a U. Oh.
Yeah. I also took a while for me and like, kill, skill? No, there's two eyes. Wait a minute! Skull! Oh my god, he's a defensive thief!
No.
It's fine! Same name.
Yeah, these people do not have tattoos.
Shh! It doesn't matter!
Oh god, if I have to live in Japan, I can't get tattoos.
I mean, you can. But you can't go anywhere where you have to be naked.
Yeah.
Not if I know that you go anywhere like that in Japan at the moment because of all the trans problems. They have gendered baths after all. What gender would you go into?
I mean, the beach, if anything.
Yeah, but the beach is not an establishment, so you can be
No.
there just fine.
Yeah.
People just won't approach you.
Mm.
You'd be scary.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like establishments, like
Oh,
bathrooms.
yeah.
So, like
Oh.
it's gendered anyways.
Mm.
Most of them are.
Yeah.
So it's like, where would you go anyways?
The man had a tattoo peeking from one of his ratty sleeves. Come on, buddy. You can't clog out just yet, Archie said. Get up. I've got a few questions for you. He knelt down to grab the man by his collar.
Oh! You
How's-
got it! Got it!
What do you have there?
Got it!
Halfway to his feet, the man pulled a gun from his breast pocket. Whoa! Didn't know you were packing heat. Archie took a quick step backward. The man's eyes brimmed with rage. He looked ready to pull the trigger at any moment. But he didn't get the chance.
And the other guy came up again. Woo!
The man with the cane had regained consciousness. Back on his feet, he trained his own gun on the foreigner. The foreigner quickly shifted his attention to the other gunman. Oh, no you don't! Archie darted forward and kicked the kidnapper in the hand as hard as he could. The gun went flying from his grasp. With a low snarl, the man took the metal pipe again.
Oh yeah, of course. Back to the pipe. Fight gets game!
Rather than go for Archie, however, he charged the man with a cane. What the? Archie watched in astonishment as the two men grappled. Now's our chance!
Yeah.
Grabbing Hitami by the hand, Archie broke into a run.
I would do that too. I would be like, alright, let's go fighting. Run out of here. Get the hell out of here. Why are you not running
Hey,
out
we
of
had one of those at my old village where I was living. We had a parking lot, or no.
You mean your
A big one.
childhood home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The village where I'm like, what? You mean where you grew up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, they're pretty.
We had one of those. It looked exactly like that.
Yeah, man, my.
It's probably the same company that made
Yeah.
it.
It's funny how because of the background, the one to the right looks like ah, but the one to the left is like ah, looks angry.
Yeah.
Even though it's exactly the same because of the background.
Mm.
It reminds me of a certain bird in our apartment.
Yeah.
It's currently yawning.
Mm. They ran for a long time, finally stopping to rest in a quiet municipal park. As they sat catching their breath, Archie sensed a new tension in Hitami. She hadn't said a word since their last escape. She has to die, Archie. It's for your own good.
Hell no.
For the greater good.
No. To hell with the greater good.
In his mind, Archie replayed what the man with the cane had said. So, Hitami, Archie hesitated. About what happened back there? Yeah? She sounded like she'd been far gone in her own thoughts. You gotta believe me, I have no idea who that guy was. Never seen him before in my life. He must have been saying that stuff to confuse us, to trip us up. Yeah? Hitami said again. Is that what's been bothering you?
Yeah.
Huh? Now it was Archie's turn to go monosyllabic. Monosyllabic.
Syllabic. Monosyllabic.
Jesus Christ. Well, Archie, you're kind of famous around Shibuya, right? I don't know about that. Way back when he'd been the leader of SOS. Nowadays, way back when he'd been the leader of SOS. Nowadays, he was just some guy who picked up trash. That was nothing to brag about. When someone's famous, it's not usually for someone else to...
It's not unusual.
It's not unusual for someone else to recognize them and know their name. So yeah, I was surprised back there, but no matter what that man may have said, I trust you.
Aww.
I mean, look at how many times you've put yourself in danger to protect me. Hitami sounded pretty resolute. Archie was glad that she believed him, but that raised another question. So then how come you've been so quiet? I've just been thinking about things. Like what that man from the Scramble might be after. It was true that his actions didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, he seemed more interested in taking out the man with the cane than going after you.
What's your choice gonna be?
Probably bad blood between them.
Maybe.
I feel like they're not on the same team.
Oh no, I don't think so at all.
Maybe there's bad blood between them. Archie let out a little chuckle. If we're lucky, maybe they'll take each other out for us.
It seems more like the Cane Man is part of the force.
The police force?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seemed like it to me. Especially because of what Ano said, that Tateno was on their trail, so how could they lose them?
Hmm.
I don't know, it might be Tateno, I don't know.
He felt a rush of relief, reassured that Hitami didn't doubt his motives. Regardless, though, we have to track down that blue van. The sound of a child's cry came from behind them. Oh no! to look
dare
at
you?
the kidnapper rushing toward them. He had knocked over a little girl who was in his way. Just face planted.
Yeah, just face planted. Poor girl, man. Hana, that was her name, right?
Yeah.
Hana. Poor Hana.
No wish for the weary, Hachi sighed.
Keep going.
He and Hisabi sprinted away.
Right.
Do you think he took out the guy with the cane? Isabi's words came between panting huffs. Maybe. Archie glanced back at their pursuer.
Oh god, there's another guy!
What? There was someone else with him. Now they were being chased down by 2 foreigners. I like this better when we were just running from from one guy with a cane. In a one-on-one fight, Archie was confident he could keep Hisumi safe. 1-on-2 though, that was a different story.
Yeah.
One guy might get a hold of her while he was facing off against the other. He had to make sure they lost these creeps, no matter what.
Keep out, bitch! You're forced to take Carlos anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have seen no jumps so far.
Nope, which means it's all on Kano. It's all up to Kano to continue the storyline now.
Yeah, because we finished Minorikawa.
Yep, we did.
And Tama keep out, Ozawa keep out, and Archie keep out.
Yep, so we got
So-
Kano.
Kano is gonna jump to someone who's
Yeah.
gonna open up theirs, and maybe we're gonna jump from there to
Yeah,
another
yeah. But it's Kano who's gonna open up the rest of the story now.
one. Yeah.
Now, back to our favorite non-FBI agent.
Mr. Anderson.
Yeah.
Following Kano's
Stanley.
directions, Stanley drove toward the crime syndicate's hangout. There was a good chance that this was where Maria was being held. Traffic was practically non-existent, and they made good time. They cruised down Miyamasaka.
Yeah, Miyamasaka.
Miyamasaka, then past the train station toward Dogensaka. All the while, the 2 men stared at the windshield, neither inclined to make conversation. They arrived at the Shinsencho intersection. Take a right here, Kano said. You nervous? Stanley asked, as he made the turn. His own tone was calm and level. Kano gave no reply. If this syndicate really was holding Maria hostage up ahead, he and Stanley might wind up putting her in danger by showing up there. If it came down to it, Kano wondered, could he count on the man next to him taking the hostage's safety into account? Oh yeah, Kano actually cares about the hostage.
Yeah, which is why it's getting fucking ripped by the superiors.
Yeah. He doubted
He
it.
cares more about the hostage than he cares about catching the criminals.
Mm.
Of course, he wants both, but
Yeah.
you can't always have all nice things.
He doubted it, but
Yawn.
yeah, there was nothing he could do about that now.
Trust in Stanley. I beg of you, Kano.
They arrived at the syndicate's hangout sooner than Kano had anticipated. It was a multi-tenant building in Tomigaya, southwest of Yoyogi Park.
Oh, okay. Black Lodge Pub.
So you have an idea where it is?
Yeah, I know what Yoyogi Park is.
The ratty building looked like it might come crashing down in a minute. The Black Lodge sign out front looked deliberately ominous. Kano knew the place as a bar frequented by expats from various countries, as well as a hotbed for criminal activity.
There's a lot of lockers you got there, dude. Well, this is also Japan, so.
I'll take point, Stanley said. You back me up.
Why give me that voice?
I'm trying to do an American accent and I'm not good at American accents.
I don't think he talks like Southerner. That's what I got from that. He just speaks like, you know, not New York, but you know, like he's a proper American citizen or something. Normal American. Your highlights. Wait, what did you say? I wasn't pointing out assaulters are proper Americans. Not what I meant.
No, that's not. No. I'm just like, yeah, that's the harder one to do.
Yeah.
Not many pronounced like.
Just
accents.
remember to pronounce your erotic ass.
Arr!
And you're a good way there, or good ways there, you know?
He pulled a handgun from his suit pocket. It was a compact clock. A model frequently used by the FBI or CIA.
Glock 17, a semi-automatic pistol developed in Austria for police and military use.
Yes, that is actually a Glock.
Yes, that is a Glock. Notable for its incorporation of large amounts of polymer. In its design. A certain Hollywood film included a line of dialogue claiming that the Glock would not show up on airport X-ray machines, but since the gun barrel itself is made of metal, it's surely not true. Because, you know, it was entirely made of plastic. God would fucking destroy itself when it shot a bullet out of the barrel.
I don't think you can make a plastic that's strong enough for that. Well,
Exactly.
technically, 3D printed guns can work 1 to 3 times.
Yes, but if you're using it for police or military use,
Oh yeah.
it's like, it's gonna destroy itself really quickly.
But if you're trying to get a gun into a place where they have X-ray machines,
Oh yeah.
and you're just trying to get a gun in there without.
Yeah, I know that. It's just the barrel's not gonna hold because the barrel needs to be as pristine and intact as possible, otherwise the bullet is not going to hit the target. There's a reason why the barrel is made as it is.
And how's that?
Like, it's like swirls. I don't know how to explain it!
You mean the rifling?
That baby! How does it need to be pristine?
Yes, it makes the bullet spin for more stability, so it doesn't tumble around in the air.
Yeah.
That is true.
You got me. I know nothing about guns other than I look. Also because
You'll
I've
stick
never...
to medicine, I'll stick to engineering.
Hey! Guns don't necessarily have anything to do with engineering. I can shoot a bolt-action rifle if I want to. I just never trained a handgun.
Oh no, I was more talking about subsonic physics.
Oh, well, who here graduated with a level of A in physics? Me!
Who here has a better understanding on subsonic physics?
Well, I don't have an understanding of how guns work, so that's my problem, not physics.
I'm not talking about guns. I'm talking about subsonic physics.
Well, I have a normal understanding.
You know what subsonic is?
Kinda, but I would not be able to explain it.
Subsonic is, as it says, before sonic. It is before it reaches the speed of sound.
Yeah. It is the speed of sound, it's just weird.
It's I don't remember exactly how many Machs it is. That the speed the speed, but
I don't know. I only know in kilometers per hour, or is it meters per second? I don't know. One of them. 300 and something.
well, that depends on what you're talking about.
The
If you
speed of the sound.
Oh yes.
334 or something in that direction. Pretty close to it.
I
believe that's kilometers per
sounds
hour.
like meters.
Meters per second? That's faster than kilometers per hour.
Yeah, it is. But sound is also fast.
Yeah. True.
Sound is only inhibited by the denseness of the air around us.
Not necessarily air, but the area around it, because sound can travel through objects. So,
The colder the air is, the further the sound goes.
yeah.
because it can travel through the atoms faster.
Yeah, that's because the air is less dense. Because the warmer the air is, the more molecule it can hold. Physics!
Yeah.
Oh well. As we have established, the entire gun cannot be made of plastic because it wouldn't hold for very long. Either way, let's continue.
I want to study physics.
Then why don't you study physics?
I'm mentally not capable?
Who said you're not mentally capable?
What?
Who said you're not mentally capable?
Me.
Okay.
I don't feel like I'm prepared.
And you're more prepared for engineering?
Oh no, I don't feel. I don't mean like that. I mean like right now.
Oh. Because you're still missing some physics to start engineering. Okay, I thought you said you wanted to study physics. I'm like, why don't you just do that?
No, it's not so much that. It's more that right now I'm not mentally stable enough to do an education.
No. I know, that's why I meant you need some levels of physics as solo subjects before you can do anything. That's what we're talking about.
It's not so. That is not the exact thing that is keeping me back. Because if that was the only thing, I'd just do the physics and then move on. But I can't just go in and do full-time studying.
No, I know.
Even for high school level stuff.
I know. That's also what I was referring to.
But you said that the only thing holding me back was that I didn't have the physics A.
You need physics A, you need physics B.
Or physics B, yeah. Well,
yeah, for
anyway.
taking a...
for getting into university.
For getting into university, yeah, that's what I meant. But I'm saying, you said you wanted to study physics, but you can't right now, and I'm like, you were talking about the levels that you're missing.
Yeah.
Because you have to actually take those to continue anyway.
Yes. But mentally, I'm also not prepared to do anything. And that's what I've been talking about.
Yes. But I thought when you said you wanted to study physics that you were talking about university. That's what confuses me.
Oh, I kind of also want to do that. It has been on my mind to study physics. But I feel like I've decided that engineering is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean, engineering is all, you're still going to have some physics.
Yeah, that's obviously still going to be physics. Obviously. Because engineering is based on physics.
I mean, not all engineering is physics.
Or part of it is not.
Process engineers are working almost entirely in chemistry.
Oh, yeah.
Biotechnological engineers work almost entirely in chemistry and biology.
But I was thinking more of the kind of engineer that I would be with.
Yeah, but I'm just saying engineering is like, not all in engineer like educations work in physics, but the one you're taking, yes.
What do they call that? A general engineer? I think.
They don't exist in Denmark. General engineers don't exist in Denmark. It's not an education you can take.
It used to be.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not anymore, no.
You can the most generic one you can take is like a engineering education in like materials.
Yeah, materials.
It's still like you can be like a project leader because you know a lot about different areas, but it's still not like a generic engineer.
No. Oh, I'm warm.
The door's open though.
Yeah, I'm just warm.
Yeah. Oh, onwards to the next FBI. Federal Bureau of Investigation. An American Investigation Bureau. Wow, really? Established by the U.S. Department of Justice in 1908. As authority in matters involving crimes across state lines as well as threats to public order such as espionage and terrorism. Generally speaking, the FBI conducts its activities within the United States. So it makes no sense that it'd be outside of the FBI. Or, oh my god.
Outside of
America. My brain's wouldn't.
So, according to a Danish broadcasting company known as TV2, specifically TV2 Pseudo, FBI means Bunny Business Inc.
I mean, Pseudo is a comedy channel most of the time.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think Zulu exists anymore. It's called something else now.
Yeah, it is.
So that was one of the channels that generally did stand up and all kinds of humorous stuff with stand-up comedians and whatnot.
Yeah, which is why they still had like the huge like festival comedians still called Zulu.
Yeah, this Zulu Gala.
Yeah. CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, one of the principal agencies of the U.S. intelligence community, reporting to the Director of National Intelligence, possessing considerable budgetary resources and a vast network of highly trained personnel. The CIA carries out intelligence gathering and covert operations primarily overseas. In recent years, the organization has been devoting major efforts to counter-terrorism. Because, there's a lot of terrorism in America.
Also specifically because of 9/11.
Yeah, that's what I meant by it.
Ever since 9/11,
America's been like, how dare you? Okay.
Kano drew his own gun, and the two cautiously made their way inside. They immediately heard some sort of ruckus from beyond a wooden door at the far end of the hall.
Alright.
Please don't let this be what I think it is, Kano thought to himself. Sweat beaded down his hands as he gripped his gun tighter. He heard the sound of glass shattering. Then came the sound of something heavy falling to the floor. Mario! Ignoring Stanley's previous order, Kano rushed ahead, kicked down the door, and stepped inside.
Well, hello there.
He walked right into a massacre. There were nearly a dozen bodies sprawled out across the floor. He thought he recognized them all, the men who had participated in the repeated attaché case handoffs. Each appeared to have been stabbed to death. Had these guys all turned on each other? No, that couldn't have been the case. None of the victims was holding a knife, which meant that whoever had killed them must still be hiding nearby. No sooner had Kano come to this conclusion than he heard a muffled cry behind him. Stanley! The American was sprawled on the floor face down. Kano rushed over and knelt beside him. Stanley was dead. Stabbed through the back.
You're like, what?
Did we have a choice at any point?
Nope.
What the fuck? Is there something behind him?
There is someone behind.
Yeah.
You can see the hair of said person.
Without an instant's hesitation, Kano stood up again, gun at the ready. He scanned his surroundings, but there was no sign of the killer. But that was impossible. Stanley had been killed mere moments ago. Someone had to be here somewhere. Out of nowhere, he felt someone press the tip of a knife into his neck from behind, right at the base of his skull. How? He hadn't noticed anyone coming up on him. There wasn't even anyone else around. Nobody but the corpses scattered across the floor. Wait. What was... Kano hadn't checked them. Hadn't checked to make sure they were all really dead. Was his last thought, he realized that had been his fatal mistake. Somebody with long hair.
Yep. Bad end! I thought they were dead! Alas, there's nothing to be done for poor Kano now. He wasn't prepared for whoever's wielding that knife. Sometimes it's best not to rush things. kind of saying they might not have had their run-in with the killer if they turned up a bit later. There's something called the traffic jam at 1310, which should keep you from meeting such a grisly end. So 1310.
Okay.
You gotta go to 1310 and then you gotta see. That's 1310.
That's 1310.
Maybe it's Minori-Kala? Check. Good choice.
Where is the key back? Right, there's a jump here.
Yeah. You know who it is? It's Achi.
Achi.
Yep.
So maybe we need to jump to make them do something different.
Yeah. Perhaps. Haciendo!
Street fight. Couple.
Couple.
Haciendo. Jump to this.
Jump! Nice! Achi!
As luck would have it, they soon found a crowd in their path, backs turned toward them. Excited voices rose up from the throng. Whoa, what's the deal?
What?
There's something going on?
Street fight! Street fight! The fight is the name of live and takes place out in the street, such as using bare hands and weapons. Even a barehanded fight could result in serious injuries though, which is why they're pretty illegal. Yeah.
Hachi clutched Izumi's hand good and tight. Whatever you do, don't let go. Without a moment's hesitation, he plowed his way through the crowd.
What the fuck is with the two men over to the side so I can see? That's kind of funny.
I don't know. Emerging on the far side of the gathering, Hachi saw the main
Hey,
road
look!
ahead.
The 109 building.
Cars were zipping past in a steady stream. What do we do? There were too many cars for them to walk across the street without getting hit. But they couldn't exactly just sit and wait for the lights to change. And they certainly couldn't go back the way they came. The pursuers were getting closer and closer. Hit me! Hachi shouted.
We're going across!
We're going across!
Gotta cross the traffic jam!
What? Dragging Hitami by the hand, Hachi darted into the street. Moving purely by instinct, he wove his way through the gaps between the speeding cars.
There you go! Traffic jam created!
When they were halfway across, the car slammed in on its brakes and to keep from hitting them, causing several cars behind it to crash into one another. The multi-vehicle pileup plunged the roadway into total chaos.
Total chaos. As a result of this chaos, traffic in the nearby area will be at a standstill for a while on the way to the syndicate hideout, Shibuya and Jack Stanley have got caught in this traffic jam. Nice! You saved their lives!
Yeah. In a matter of moments, the street was clogged with a long line of stopped vehicles. Hachi and Hitami's pursuers remained on the other side and did not pursue. Okay. That was crazy. Hitami panted as she caught her breath. Well, you know what they say. Idle feet are the devil's playthings.
Did you say that?
Hands. It's idle hand.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
Whatever, at least they've gotten away.
We got away again. Is it eternally gonna be someone chasing them, and isn't there?
Seems like it. Come on, let's go. Archie led the way down several twisting side streets before slowing his pace. By now, Hitsumi was slumped and panting heavily. He wanted to give her some time to rest, but if they just hung around, the pursuers might still find them. He looked around and spotted a multi-tenant building. The nearest door was open. Bundles of flyers were set out near the entrance.
Flyers! Flyers for Au revoir, the 22nd
Au revoir.
performance by the theater troupe The Wandering Angels. It's a tale of a man named Yu looking back on his 100-year life as a warrior. The performance features wire action as its major set piece, with Yu and his rival Shido flying high through the air to battle with the magical Muramasa blade. It's always fucking Muramasa. And Beam Saber, respectively. It's always fucking Muramasa, isn't it?
What is Muramasa?
It's a really, really known sword
Okay.
in Japan history. It's a famous sword made by the famous Muramasa weaponsmith.
Okay, because I also know of a game called Muramasa.
What?
I also know of a game called Muramasa.
Probably because Muramasa is just a really known name to use, and the game probably has something to do with swords and stuff.
I guess. I don't know. I have no idea. So, dragon?
Dragon?
Rue?
Well, dragon is Yu,
Oh. Okay.
but his kanji could still be for dragon. I don't know.
Hmm. Archie peeked inside and saw piles of plywood and painted lumber. It looked like it was a storeroom for a theater's stage props and scenery. We can hide out here, he said. But... Hizumi hesitated, but Archie gave her hand a little tug. It'll be fine, there's nobody around. They stepped inside the storeroom and Archie quickly shut the door behind them. We should probably rest for a bit, he said. There was a wooden platform set up besides a large piece of plywood. Hello.
Well, hello there.
Archie picked up a magazine that had fallen on the floor and spread it out atop the platform's dusty surface. Here, now you can sit down without getting your clothes dirty. Thank you. Hizumi quietly took a seat. We should probably turn off our cell phones, Archie said. It could be really bad if they rang at the wrong moment. The two powered off the phones. Archie took a cursory look around.
Well, someone said zoomies.
Yeah. It didn't
Follows sitting there like, what happened?
It didn't look like there was any way in or out besides the door they'd come in through. There was a single window set in the wall, but it wouldn't open far enough to let them through.
Spoopy.
No, you do it like this.
Jesus Christ! Don't peek the microphone and don't wake up our neighbors. They have children.
He to be let out of a quiet gasp.
See, I told you it was quiet. I was right.
As someone was outside the storeroom. Archie put a finger to his lips and Hitomi gave a fearful nod. The window's frosted glass blocked any real view in or out. So long as they'd stayed quiet, they ought to be safe. Whoever was outside pressed their face to the frosted glass, trying to get a glimpse inside. The blurry visage of the foreigner who attacked them was dimly visible. Like the man with the cane before him, this guy was quick to catch up. The man pounded on the glass. Archie swallowed the lump in his throat. If this guy got in, they had nowhere to run. Archie turned to Hizumi.
So, you wanna hurry or you wanna be like...
We'll be fine. Hizumi clutched onto Archie's arm hard. Can I help you with something? Said a casual voice from outside. They saw their pursuer react at once, pulling back from the window. That's just their storeroom, you know, the voice added. Archie heard footsteps scampering away. The kidnapper had run off. Archie exchanged glances with Hitomi and let out a tiny sigh. There were more voices coming from the outside now. What was up with that guy? I don't know. Whatever. Let's just hurry and get stuff tidied up. Man, my throat's raw. It sounded like a conversation between two men. The storeroom door opened and the men clumped their way inside.
The men! Honari Takaya and Taro Toga, two members of the theater troupe, The Wandering Angels. Takaya is the Wandering Angels star actor, playing the lead role of Uryu in today's performance of Au revoir, the troupe's 22nd piece, because we didn't know that already. Last night he stepped completely naked and caught a cold, leading to the sore throat he has now, and an idiot. Toga is the stage director handling things behind the scenes. He's very irritated that Shin Shibando, in charge of the props, seems to have gone AWOL.
AWOL.
AWOL!
You know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what do we get you? Let's grab those folding chairs over there. Yeah? The producer said we're gonna need a lot more seats all of a sudden. Mr. Orai said that? Going all out for the troops last hurrah, huh? Beats me, man. In no real hurry, the men went about carting the folding chairs away. They didn't notice Archie and Hitomi sitting silently in the shadows. Not to change the subject, but how come we're using a dry ice machine and not a smoke machine? Maybe that's why my throat's bothering me. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Nobody's even operating it, and it's still drawing a ton of power. Think it's effective? Archie and Hitomi waited for the two men to finish up. If it was spotted, it would probably cause a scene, and worse still, it might alert the men who were hunting them.
I'm sure it's gonna be important further down the line.
Once it carried off the rest of the folding chairs, the men closed the storeroom door. The foreigner could still be somewhere nearby, though, so Archie decided they should hide out in the room a little longer. This blows. I want to get back out there to look for that blue van ASAP, but Archie trailed off as something occurred to him. Wait a second. Now that's weird. Hizumi looked at him inquiringly. The kidnappers already have the ransom money, yeah? Archie said. That's right. And then they told you that your sister was in some blue minivan. Isn't that kind of weird? What do you mean? Did you figure that your sister was in the minivan by herself? Well, yes. If one of the kidnappers were with her, they wouldn't need to send me to go get her. Right, Archie said.
Right.
And yet the fact was that as soon as the kidnappers had their money, they could have let Hitomi's sister out of the vehicle and just run off. There was no point in sending Hitomi to fetch her personally. A look of revelation dawned in Hitomi's face. Oh! That minivan had already left Dokensaka, it said. And it came back while we were waiting for it, Archie finished. He thought back to his earlier run-in with the blue vehicle. So then inside that minivan, there had been a bunch of foreigners inside. Which meant...
I mean, both of these could be pretty probable.
Yeah. The kidnappers had been trying to ambush Hitomi. They told her that her sister was in that minivan to lure her to it, and the kidnappers had been lying in wait inside. Do you think they were trying to kidnap me too? That's it! Archie clapped his hands together. Then they'd let your sister go and demand a ransom for you. And then they'd make her deliver the ransom money for your release. They'd be able to get like infinite ransom money by constantly abducting one twin after the other.
See?
You're an idiot. That seems a little far-fetched. Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
He's just running in the clouds. No stopping his thought train that came there.
Now that she'd said so, Archie realized that it was kind of a ridiculous idea. Still, what if the kidnappers really were trying to kidnap me? Hitomi said. As in, like, they accidentally abducted the wrong twin? I mean, I guess that would have been easy to butch up. That would imply that they wanted me specifically and not my sister. Hitomi paused briefly in thought. Maybe you're hotter than your sisters.
Nice going there, Archie. Why does that matter when they
What
just
is
want
this, a
ransom?
pickup line? Archie suggested with enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Hitomi shook her head. That can't be it. If anything, it's the other
And
way
I love how
around.
oblivious is just like, no, it has to be the other way around.
Compared to my sister, I'm just... Whoa, hey, stop right there. Stop right there, criminal scum.
How dare you say yourself that you're not pretty?
Archie
If
had
I say you're pretty, you're pretty!
You're not just anything. Please don't. I am. I'm just... Tears had welled up in Hisumi's eyes. Why did it have to happen to her? Why not me? Whoa, hey, come on, don't cry. I'm sorry. Cheer up! It's like that song says. Don't just stand there. Wipe those tears away. That one. You know it? Is that... I am... Kamiki? Yeah, that's the one. Put your hand in mine. Every single bee is a light. What?
Don't worry about it. Lyrics, you know?
Huh? You know, every single bee is a light. Hitomi let out a giggle. Everything will be alright. Hmm? You've got the lyrics wrong. It's everything will be alright. Yeah, I thought something was wrong there. Ah, right, yeah. I guess that makes more sense, I
You're
guess.
just a doofus, Archie.
Archie's mouth curled into a sheepish smile.
Alright, then.
Alright, I think we laid low long enough, Archie said at last. Think we should be on our way? He was about to get to his feet when he heard voices outside the storeroom again. Yikes, that was pretty careless of us. Yeah, we definitely gotta watch it, huh?
It's the guy who's coughing again.
The theater guys from earlier had returned, and they sounded a bit panicked.
Theater guys! Tomoe Takuya and Taro Toga. Is it just the same?
Nope,
Okay.
it's different.
Okay. Two members of the theater group, the Wandering Angels. Takuya is the Wandering Angels star actor, but lately, in addition to appearing on their stage, he's been doing on TV drama and film work as well. The next role he's slated for is in Sun TV's upcoming suspense drama, Sumo Queen 2, where he will play the referee who utters the lame line, "Looks like things are getting heavy," upon discovering a victim's dying message inscribed in one corner of the sumo ring. That's such a corny line. I love it.
Jesus fucking Christ, oh my god.
That's a corny. I love it. I'm more good than that.
Heard folks have been messing with the storeroom a bunch recently.
Uh-huh.
And did you hear who's behind it? Some juvenile delinquents. Like a gang? Wow, that takes me way back. Alright, let's hurry, I'm back. Archie rushed over to the door. He tried turning the knob, but the door wouldn't budge. Oh, come on! Are you freaking kidding me? Oh, we're getting a bad end.
Well, they won't find them in there, that's for sure.
Yeah. He paced frantically around the... they have phones, at least. He paced frantically around the room, pulling at his hair. We're locked in!
I know.
Well, that door was the only way out, in or out. Archie and Hitami were well and truly trapped inside the storeroom. This is all my fault, Archie said. It was my idea to hide out here in the first place. He bowed to Hitami repeatedly. We're never gonna be able to find that blue minivan now. Guess we'll have to get someone on the outside to help us, Hitami replied. She scowled thoughtfully. They powered their phones back on in order to call for help. The big question was who they could possibly ask. Hitami, anyone you can reach out to? Mr. Tanaka, I suppose? Tanaka.
Right.
The suggestion didn't exactly thrill Archie. He had no idea what this Tanaka guy was like. Hopefully he was the dependable sort who would actually show up to rescue them. But somehow that thought made Archie feel even worse. Archie had someone he figured he could call, but he hesitated, uncertain. There had been a time when he trusted this guy more than anyone. They bailed each other out countless jams. Nowadays, though, things were different. Hitami gave Archie a puzzled look as he sat, lost in thought. Right. Guess I don't have much of a choice. Archie scrolled through the contacts and list on his cell phone. He found a name he had thought he'd never call again. Susan.
Oh boy. Current command of SOS.
Yo. Archie? Is that you? Susan's voice was low and guarded. Look, I've got a favor to ask you. I'm in a real bind here. Huh? Like, things are ridiculously bad. I thought maybe you could help me out a little bit? You seriously thought I'd help you? Suzumu's words were like ice. You messing with me or something, man? Now he sounded a touch angry as well. Painful memories flashed before Archie's eyes. Right, then. Sorry to bug you, just forget it. But Suzumu hung up before Archie was even finished talking.
Thanks.
No dice, Archie said to Hitami with a lopsided frown. She looked back at him, her expression a mirror of his own. What should we do? What should we do? I guess we're back to Mr. Tanaka. Guess so. You want to go ahead then?
Tanaka-san.
Hitami tried calling him repeatedly, but Tanaka didn't pick up. What could have happened? She muttered under her breath. Do you think maybe the kidnappers found out that Mr. Tanaka and I have been in contact? Archie shrugged. It looked like they were just going to need to find some way out of here on their own, and then maybe look for the minivan themselves. Archie strode over to the door and grabbed hold of the knob. You knob!
You knob!
He tried giving it a good sturdy pull. No good. The thing won't even budge.
What are you, Sigma?
That door opens outwards. Wait, really? Archie tried giving it a push. It still didn't open. He kicked it. Oh! The door wasn't nearly as sturdy as Archie had expected. I think I can make this work. He backed up to get a running start, then kicked the door with all of his might. Yeah!
Hi, Kirk!
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Hello? Fucking Zelda games, man. Link's voice is amazing.
The door went flying off its hinges. Oh man, that was way too easy. Archie stepped cautiously out of the storeroom. He quickly scanned the surrounding area. There was nobody in sight. Looked like we're in the clear, he said. But Izumi didn't come out, nor did she reply. Izumi? She had her phone in hand, apparently still trying to get in touch with Tanaka. With a tiny sigh, Archie leaned against the wall and waited for her to finish. Well? Doesn't look like I'm going to have any luck, she said. You know we can leave now, right? Are you still holding out hope for your Mr. Tanaka? It's not that. I'm just a little worried. Oh yeah? Okay then. I'll just wait around here. Okay, I'll be right with you. Uh-huh. Archie shuffled his way back outside.
She's like, God damn, she likes it. Oh, hello!
Oh crap.
Oh, crap.
By the time Archie could finish processing the thought, he was already laid out on the ground. His jaw hit the asphalt hard. He bit the tip of his tongue clean off. The taste of blood filled his mouth.
Oh,
A
hey!
moment later, he took a sharp blow to the head. He was done for. All the energy drained from his body. His mind whirled. His vision grew hazy. He began to drift from consciousness. Back when he'd run with Suzumu and the others, he'd never left himself exposed to a surprise attack. There were plenty of times when he'd taken a punch that sent him reeling, only to spin away and come back swinging. This time, he hadn't even seen it coming. It was his last mistake. Heh. Guess I've let myself go soft. Archie grimaced inwardly, muttering in a voice no one but he could hear. Continue. I'm so sorry.
Sorry. And end.
And I think
Attacked by the man with the cane.
we'll probably stop here.
Yeah, but read the hint anyways.
Yeah.
Archie successfully managed to break out of the storeroom only to be knocked out by the man with the cane while he waited for Hitomi. Things might have gone differently if Hitomi had managed to get in contact with Tanaka. Why hadn't he responded to a call? Maybe something strange had happened over in the Osa residence, or perhaps there was some reason he wasn't able to answer the phone.
Food.
Told you to just let Hachibana make the food. But did you listen? No! You caused this! It was issue.
And you tell me not to do that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure why it started bleeding.
No.
I wasn't scratching that hard.
Maybe it was already a wound.
I don't know. But yeah, we've been streaming for a while, so let's end it here.
Yeah.
So we can go to bed soon.
Yeah.
It's getting late.
Yeah.
And this time, we will be back on Saturday.
Yeah, we don't have...
Because we have nothing.
Well...
No?
This is PPR.
No!
But I do want to watch it live.
You can watch it around our stream.
Let me just check. Yeah. It starts before we start streaming.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just watch it on YouTube. Whatever.
Alrighty then. John. we'll be back on Saturday. Back to our normal schedule, at least for next weekend. The weekend after, we do have to go somewhere on Saturday again.
Yeah.
So we won't be able to stream there, but otherwise, it's back to normal.
Thursday, we'll get out with a new video on our YouTube channel for the edited series.
Well,
that we recorded.
normal YouTube videos of us.
The last one didn't get edited as much because it was a bit heavy and I had a hard time focusing.
Yeah, that's fine. It's also a bit shorter because you started not feeling well.
Yeah, because it was heavy. So, we will see you guys on Saturday.
Yes. For more Shibuya Scramble, more shenanigans, and hopefully fixing these bad ends we're getting.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see ya. Bye.
Bye.